Yo guys, alright, so we're going to react to Avatar Aang versus Genshin Impact. Now, I've already liked it because obviously all of their fight animations is always great, but I'll say this. This fight is so random. It's so random that I know that the Genshin Impact Traveler is gonna win. He's gonna win automatically, and it's kind of sad to say, but in Genshin Impact, not only do they have like all these elements, like they do these crazy stuff, like you just can't measure that. Like Aang can't measure to that. So crazy enough. And it's kind of wild to say this is not to say that Aang would be beaten by Korra, but Korra would have a better chance. And it's mainly has a lot to do with strength and speed and stuff like that. But with Aang, it's no Aang has the speed, I'm not gonna lie. But when it comes to strength, uh like Korra has the upper hand, and while she would still lose against the Genshin Impact Traveler, like she would have a better chance just because of the pure strength, really. And some of her feats are better than Aang. Like, I know it sounds crazy because the reason why Aang would win against Korra is really because of like mastery and control. But some of the feats when we're talking about just strength, Korra has the upper hand, and so she would just have a better chance, but she'd actually die still.
Aang the Avatar versus Ether
No
the
psychic.
Traveler.
Ether did never. This is how I know they needed to write the Genshin Impact Traveler, because I've never heard, like, I've played Genshin Impact and I never knew his name.
Which journeyman will come out on top in this elemental battle?
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who
Alright,
would
no.
win a death battle.
I already know.
Water, earth,
I don't even need
fire,
to.
air. Long ago, the four nations lived in harmony, united by a master
I
of
don't
the
even need to
elements,
pause,
the
honestly.
Avatar.
This
Maybe to
Avatar
check their
reincarnated as
abilities.
different people for centuries, all with their own struggles. And
Hmm.
man, was that true for our boy Aang.
Not at first, of course, thanks to his master and guardian, Yatso.
As a cheeky little air nomad, Aang traveled the world causing shenanigans, all while learning to control the winds with airbending.
Based on the real-life martial art Bagua Zhang, airbending is the most spiritual of the four bending styles, focusing on evading and diverting attacks through circular motions. With even the smallest movement, Aang can create tornadoes, run like the wind, and block hypersonic explosions.
The
Yeah,
perfect
he's
style
fast.
for a twinkle-toed goofball like Aang. He even invented his own technique.
Wait, did they include the movie too? When did this come out? Actually, when did the movie come out? Did they include the
The
movie?
air scooter. How does he not fall off that thing?
Add in a glider staff for flight, and the sky was the limit. But
Oh.
you know how it goes.
They're only including like the series. Okay.
Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Their conquest spread, war was inevitable, and Aang was the only one who could save the world.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with all that, and being
He looks
forcibly
like a
separated from
teenager.
Gyatso. He was just a kid, so he
On
froze
the-
up. Like, literally, he
How can I
accidentally
say
froze
this?
himself in his adorable
he looks
sky
like a
bison hopper for
adult on
100
the
years.
clip.
Until he was awakened by the Water
Uh.
Tribe siblings Katara and Sokka.
In the very beginning, a bit in the early beginning, I felt like it looked like older Aang. I don't know why.
Time wasn't kind to Aang's people. With no avatar to keep balance, the Airbenders, Aang's entire culture, were wiped out by the Fire Nation.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
rough, buddy. But Aang took the wake-up call to heart.
As the Avatar, it's Aang's duty to understand the world's people, learning their cultures, their sadness, joy, and humanity.
And what better way to do that than learning how they kick ass?
From the Northern Water Tribe and his twin crush, Aang learned waterbending. Themed around fluid Tai Chi movements, this style controls liquid in all forms to freeze targets, create water whips, and even cut through steel.
Learning earthbending was way tougher, but Aang's friend Toph taught him to stop being a wimpy pushover. Now he can armor himself in stone, move the terrain of entire cities, and fight blind with a sonar-style seismic sense.
Earthbending is themed around the steady stances of Hung Quan Kung Fu, waiting for the right moment to strike head on.
There was a lot to learn, but even with the world at stake and this moody hothead on his tail, Aang had fun doing it. Who could forget the adventures penguin sledding, going through the bending bayous, and living in Ba Sing Se, the city where no wars ever happened.
Yet across his journey, one power eluded Aang. The Avatar state, an enhanced mode of being that came to him in moments of peril.
Sure,
This was one of the funniest moments because it was one of those moments where when Aang had to learn the Avatar state and he found out he needed to let go of Katara, he was like, what do I care about cosmic energy if I can't have Katara? This man was yearning for her. Oh my
Aang dies
gosh.
in it, the Avatar cycle ends permanently, but who cares when it gives you enough power to wipe out a whole Navy fleet?
Come on, Boomstick. The Avatar state is more than just a power amp.
Jocelyn, how long have you been standing there?
I've been here the whole time. I lurk where all Avatar talk is. Through the cosmic power of the Avatars before him and the ancient spirit Rava, Aang gains the knowledge and experience of all previous Avatars, greatly expanding his bending options. Lava bending from Avatar Roku, sonic shouts from Avatar Yang Chen, and even more are theoretically available to him through their memories.
Oh, I get it. You can't just grind your way to controlling the Avatar state.
Right. If Aang wanted to stop Fire Lord Ozai, he needed something else.
He needed onion banana juice.
Yeah, technically, I suppose. Gross.
Specifically, Aang sought the guidance of Guru Pate. Mastering his power meant clearing his chakras, emptying his mind of earthly attachments. Seems simple, but this also meant rejecting his feelings for Katara, the person he loved most.
When he had
He
to
wasn't
choose
ready.
between the world or the girl, Aang followed his heart and it didn't end well.
He got better. Aang was determined to understand the world's people, even the enemy Fire Nation. Something he accomplished thanks to the redeemed Prince Zuko, the Sun Warriors,
And these two honkin' dragons! Aang
That
was
was
scared
dope.
of firebending, but it's totally awesome! It's not just about burning and blowing shit up. Okay, well it is, but there's so much more to it.
formed from the explosive movements of Shaolin Kung Fu. Firebending controls all manner of heat. And through the teachings of fire and water, he can redirect lightning bending, a burst of atmospheric discharge shot at over 200,000 miles per hour.
Iroh, the best uncle ever, used his techniques to redirect natural lightning. So, you know it's the real deal. Not crazy enough? At his peak, Aang surpassed benders who could throw buildings, melt stone, and hold up this gigantic library solo.
Aang's really
Whooping
like that.
Ozai's butt should be no problem, right?
Not exactly. You see, the air nomads were pacifists who believed in the value of life above all. Being the last airbender, Aang didn't think his people were truly gone unless he went back on their teachings, meaning he really didn't want to kill Ozai.
So, what, he's just a coward now? Mr. Fire Lord is about to burn
That's
down the
not-
entire Earth Kingdom.
Not at all. Are you even listening? Aang
Yeah.
was simply at odds with what he wanted and what the world expected, so he needed to make a choice.
Right. In his greatest challenge yet, Aang discovered his true self, making his spirit unbendable and finally mastering the Avatar state.
Making him as strong as avatars who could cause hurricanes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions.
Or in Avatar Kyoshi's case, a new island. As in, she broke off nearly 30 square miles of a peninsula to form a new landmass. But to defeat Ozai, Aang needed one final element, something few avatars had bent before: energy bending.
Not the easiest thing to do, but Aang totally overwhelmed Ozai, severing the tyrant's connection to fire and stopping his invasion, all while keeping his no-kill run intact. The ultimate FU to this warlord's ideology.
Yeah, no cap, that specific part was kind of like, I don't know, for the plot, I guess. Because I think it would have been more interesting if he actually killed him. But I'm not complaining because Avatar, The Last Airbender is definitely one of those shows that's like, in my opinion, like a 10 out of 10. So they probably couldn't actually kill like characters, and for a kids show. But I think it would have been a bit more interesting if he actually killed Ozai, or if if he didn't want to kill, there was like a huge consequence for that. So I don't know.
Now that the Fire Nation had cooled off,
Ugh.
Aang led a new era of peace with the United Republic of Nations, a place where all people could prosper and where a new generation and a new avatar would take the reins.
He even got hitched with Katara. Take that,
Okay.
Katara shippers.
I will end you.
For all his doubts, Aang fulfilled the
There is no way she's a
Avatar's
Zutara.
destiny and then some,
Shipper.
and he
This
did
is
it in a
crazy.
way that was true to who he was.
Because before being the Avatar, or even an airbender, the greatest thing he could ever be was himself. All in a day's work for a free, fun-loving kid.
The battle is coming up thanks to this episode's sponsor, DraftKings Casino.
Big news from the casino! Lightning Link is available on
Players and get
Kings Casino anytime.
1-800-GAMBLE or visit CC Laney and West per day for terms of casino.
All right.
Add extra
Ether.
barbecue sauce.
Ad
Hey,
Astra
Evan?
Abyssos. Welcome to Tevat, a mysterious land governed by godly archons that drew the eye of someone beyond the stars. Ether.
AKA the
Ether.
Traveler, who escaped his dying world with his sister Lumine in search of the flowers that bloomed on their lost home, only to crash land, awaken to an apocalypse, and get cubed by this jerk.
Separated from his sister, Ether awoke, again, in a new, less apocalyptic age, and fished up his own pathetic pet pixie, Paimon.
Yeah, she makes for good emergency food. With his new guide, Traveler to the windy country of Mondstadt to find his link to the past, but got a Breath of the Wild glider instead.
And his first element, Animo, letting him make air slashes, tornadoes, and of course,
Windblade! But guess what? Traveler wasn't the only one with a power like this. Tevat was full of blessed people wielding these relic things called visions.
vision bearers can imbue their weapons and bodies with elemental power, summon items, and use a special, well, vision to perceive the elements around them.
Normally, they're
Oh,
limited to a
okay.
single element, but Traveler is just built different. Through Paimon's guidance, he began collecting elements from mysterious statues across Tevat. No vision relic needed for
Oh.
him.
Each nation had a new culture, a new element, a new crisis.
And new character banners. When asked to play a sleuth for a murder case in Liyue,
Gotcha
Traveler
games.
wasn't interested. A corpse couldn't tell him where his sis was, but he was roped in anyway and got the Geo ability to form rock constructs and eruptions of Earth.
When Ether ventured to Inazuma, he didn't care about its war with the Vision Bearers and their Archon either, until he saw the suffering caused by its tyrannical rule, and joined the resistance with electro abilities, fighting the powers that be using electric buzzsaws, thunder blades, and lightning.
He even learned to dodge lightning. Other electro
Oh,
users
wow.
like my wife Lisa can conjure storms. No shock when my adopted daughter Klee made explosions that raised mountains. Traveler met all kinds of people like this. You know the type. Twinks.
Yeah, Tevat has its own laws, Boomstick. Many twinks being one of them. Maybe 2 or 3 of them, actually.
Ringmaster.
Shut up, Wiz. This guy's been playing Genshin since launch.
I know everything there is to know about the Genshin meta. Either can mix elements for different reactions. Basically, big elemental combinations. Geo crystallizes materials into special barriers. Electro mixed with water stuns foes. Animo spreads elements around in swirls of destruction. Boom!
Like how I combine beer and gunpowder.
Exactly, Boomstick. Using Dendro, Traveler can
Yeah,
form
there's a
plant
lot
life
of
that when
twinks
mixed
in,
with water and lightning
mean-
makes homing beams. Yeah, run from that.
I don't know how many of them are actually twinks, but like their build is like one. But yeah.
With enough clever thinking and artifact farming, you can combine anything in Genshin.
Okay, we get it. Go lose another 50-50, you whale.
I'll show you a whale. Drop one on your lap next time you're not looking.
In Sumeru, Traveler later beat Scaramouche, an edgy catboy with multiple elements at his fingertips, all in a time loop that got repeated 168 times.
Speaking of time, Ether had control of more than just his own future. Tevat's fate fundamentally changed in ways small and grand, all through his unending willpower.
Because
Oh.
the Traveler was a descender, someone unbound by the land's destiny. Even this big tree that records all of the world's events had no idea he existed.
Like when he helped defy the judgment of a biblical flood in Fontaine, where he mastered Hydro for his best Cuphead impression with water bullets.
Heck, a dinosaur chose not to blow up the world just because Paimon and Traveler befriended it. If that wasn't cool enough, Traveler can, unrelated,
Okay.
turn into a dinosaur. Hell yeah!
Oh,
Yo,
okay.
look at him. Wonder if I could get a dinosaur on my Genshin team.
Through these legally distinct Pokemon, Ether can fly, dig through the earth, or charge foes like a Jurassic bull. He traveled across
Oh.
the land, searching far and wide, and finally stopped swinging that one-star dull blade.
Instead, picking up the prototype Rancor, which he wields like a beast thanks to the Swordmaster Skirk, and several straight days of training. What a grind set! Still, Traveler's Cyst kept eluding him, choosing to hang in the shadows with these Gluminati folk.
A group from Conria, the nation cursed by the gods for messing with the Abyss. Unbeknownst to Ether, his sister had already traveled to Vat in a journey that mirrored his own.
And at the end, she found... Well, we don't really know. Not yet, at least. But whatever
What?
it is got her to side with the creepy villains. Lot twist!
Eventually,
Oh.
Ether reached the nation of Natlan to fight in its never-ending war with the Abyss. He gained the Pyro element, learning to launch fireballs and explosions combined of flame with lightning.
He didn't just dabble in fancy pyrotechnics. By connecting with the people there, Traveler achieved Night Soul's Blessing, a power-up state fueled by primordial element juice, strong enough to make a blade of fire hundreds of feet long. Hell yeah, that's strong enough
Oh,
to take
wow.
down the heart of the Abyss, which
Yeah,
is
Aang
on the
is not
level of
surviving.
5-star waifus like Mawika and the Raiden Shogun.
You see, from all that information, I know Aang is not surviving.
An Archon who, in ages past, sliced Yashiori Island in two.
That's
these
cool, but how
gods,
about when
bro.
this Venti guy threw a whole-ass mountain? According to Paimon, Traveler can level a mountain himself.
Additionally, Ether learned how to use light energy to form a Kuvaki shield,
Light
something
too.
he used to protect the people of Nodcry by blocking a cannon blast with enough energy to obliterate a town.
This was no ordinary cannon either. It also uses Kavaki energy, so that's a beam of light.
Through all his adventures,
Oh, wow.
Ether had come to genuinely care for Tevat's people. Maybe one day he will reunite with his sister, but for now, he's fighting for a whole new world. His new home.
Ooh, you need a higher adventure rank for that.
Don't you worry, gang. I dumped all my savings into Primo Gems for this. We can't miss when those ice guys trying to kill the Traveler inevitably warm up to him. Still got it.
Ah, so that's why you're broke as shit.
To Ether, the journey has meaning. The birds of Tevat, the songs of its people, they are all part of it. Even if he's against the Abyss
You can't get too addicted to gacha game because these games will run your pocket.
itself, a new dawn is somewhere just
Whenever I think for Dokkan Battle, I only spent like $20, and then I was like, yeah, this is when I figured out like, yeah, I need to stop. This is way too addicting.
beyond the stars, and a field of flowers, Lumine too loved.
Because I always prefer to play like free to play in any type of game, so paying to win was never my style. So
The battle's about to start, and if you like death battle music,
From our independent boom from
drawn up on
so I didn't
Alright.
get don't
G.
death battle.
okay. Oh, okay. Damn, straight to it. Okay. Now,
2 elements?
Aang sounds so cute, bro.
Cute!
So cute. Wait, this is a nice fight, though.
What's going on? I'm on Ghost treasure hunting for 2 minutes now. Everything is going kaboom.
Don't mess with Appa.
Cool glider. Can it do this?
Oh yeah, they do have a glider. I forgot. I played only for a little bit when it came to Genshin. Ooh. No way, Aang wins. No way. I call cap.
Come on, traveler. Get up. Never, ever, ever stop moving forward. Remember.
No one fights alone.
What is this? A rainbow at element? Ooh. No way,
For
Aang
those
wins.
who came before. And those who will follow. I am Avatar Aang, the last airbender.
Ooh. No way Aang wins. No way. That would be a nice surprise.
Take this! Through the heights and shallows. Through infinite dusks and dawns!
Oh yeah, GG's. It's over.
Way to go,
Damn,
traveler.
my
But
boy died.
Does this mean no treasure?
KO! And the dailies are done. What a miss.
This was an interesting pairing, so let's break this down by power, experience, speed, and elements.
Guess I should have
First up,
expected it.
power. Aang and Traveler could both change the terrain of entire cities, and were way stronger than characters that can break mountains. But at their peak, they're both tearing up islands.
Aang's avatar state made him on par with Kyoshi, who created and moved the island of Kyoshi. Similarly, Night Soul's blessing let Ether contend with Archon-level foes like the Raiden Shogun, who split Yashiori Island in two.
With an attack that even Vision Bearers weaker than Traveler can block. So he's definitely on that level.
Kyoshi Island is over 6 miles wide and long. Kyoshi moved the island 17 miles offshore in 2 seconds. So we have everything we need to calculate the amount of kinetic energy this would require.
Turns out it's basically the same as cutting through Yashiori Island, about 3,000 gigatons of TNT. So their power is tied up.
Which means comparing their experience is crucial.
Ether's mastered more elements than
Aang
Aang,
has
but
that.
the Avatar state gave Aang centuries of knowledge.
With the memories and abilities of past avatars, Aang's kit was so extensive in a way Ether had no real answer for.
Not to mention,
Yeah.
Aang's training was more focused. Traveler is skilled, sure, but his training was mostly just a means to finding his sister, while Aang's journey was all about mastering elements to combat other elements.
Experience narrowly goes to Aang.
Yeah.
However, another important factor to consider is
That's not even
speed.
In terms of
contest.
mobility, both could roughly match the other. If Traveler was immobilized with
Traveler has
earthbending, he
light
could just
speed.
dig his way out as a dinosaur.
And Aang's airbending and glider meant he could easily counter Ether if he took flight.
But in terms of raw reaction speed, Traveler had it in the bag. Aang bending away lightning is crazy fast, but Traveler could dodge lightning much earlier in his journey, and now he can block that light speed Kuvaki laser.
While lightning can move over 200,000 miles per hour, a beam of light can move 186,000 miles per second.
Over 3,000 times faster than
Yeah.
Aang. Traveler takes speed.
It's not even contest. If their strength is similar, even though Aang has more experience, Traveler can just speed blitz him. Like, I don't get how this fight lasted so long, because one is lightning fast and the other is freaking light speed. Like, the fight shouldn't have. How many faster is he? Like
Second.
Over 3,000.
3,000 time. This is not a contest. I don't know why this fight lasted so long, because like, yeah, he was able to react to Ozai's lightning, but even still, like, he barely did that. And this is crazy. No.
in time span.
Now he did do I think he blocked the I saw someone else he blocked the light speed with someone else. So, but even then he would still be way faster than Aang. I don't know why they
Faster than
even
Aang.
made the
Traveler
fight
takes
last
speed by a landslide.
much.
So this all came
Kinda
down
crazy.
to the elements. Who could turn the forces of
Stop.
nature against the other?
At first, I actually thought this was Aang's dub.
Ether's
Stop. He could have, like, a lot of, like, I hate when like power scalers do this, because a lot of fights, if the strength is similar, right, a lot of fights would be ended just because like the other character can just speed blitz like the enemy, right? This is like the same case with like Superman and the Flash. Like, yes, Superman is stronger than the Flash, but the faster he is, the more mass he accumulates, right? With speed, so he gets stronger. And not only is he faster, but with the speed he has, he can actually just speed blitz Superman, right? So there's certain things like the whole question of who wins stops at speed sometimes, like a lot of times actually.
elemental control is remarkable, but most of his attacks are projectiles, spires, and very specific implements that Aang has bent away in the past.
Yeah.
Ether has never shown the precision or creative flexibility that we've seen with Aang's bending.
But throw in the
But Ether has a lot more elements though.
combos of elemental reactions, and the script flips. Traveler could mix not just his elements, but also Aang's in ways that Aang could not. Bending was Aang's greatest strength, but also, against Traveler, a weakness.
Because Aang usually had one or more elements around him, it gave Ether an easy access point through these combinations. When Aang used fire, Ether could use lightning to catch him in an overload. If Aang used water, Traveler's electrocharge could paralyze him, and so on.
This isn't just a gameplay thing. Genshin characters like the lovely Lisa canonically say this is how the elements work.
And unlike Aang, Ether has fought
Damn.
multiple people who can use multiple elements. The longer the fight went on, the more Ether would trip Aang up with these combinations, some of which Aang could not bend.
That is true. Aang has never fought somebody with like multiple elements. Like most of the time it's like a one character that has like who is super strong in that one element, right? Even Korra, if I remember correctly.
Aang could redirect lightning, sure, but what about electro buzzsaws, or an electrified tornado, or dendroblasts of pure plant energy?
The Kavaki shield especially gave Ether a
Plant
strong
energy,
defense
damn.
to fall back on. Since it was made of pure light, Aang had no way to remove it outside of brute force.
By comparison,
That is true. There's certain elements that he has that Aang just can't bend.
Aang's wind barrier wouldn't block Traveler's elements. It would actually merge with them and create more combos that would target Aang himself. Not a great situation to be in.
And since Ether's powers came from external earthly sources, like those statues, Aang could not depower him with energy bending, even if he theoretically overcame Ether's willpower.
Willpower that is strong enough to alter the fate of the entire world. Sorry,
Okay, yeah, no. You see, when you're starting to talk about time travel and altering fate, destiny, yeah, it's raps.
Aang, but elements goes to the Traveler. Cinching
Yeah,
his victory.
I
Either way you
expected
cut
that.
it.